Fortune meets fun. With over 1,800 slot machines, high stakes bingo, 24/7 poker, and exciting high limit slots, there's something for everyone to enjoy. From luxurious accommodations and exquisite dining at La Brisa to live entertainment and handcrafted cocktails at Temp Lounge, we thank you for choosing us as the premier casino, resort, brunch, and date night spot in Miami. Reimagined, redesigned. Rediscover Mikasuki Casino and Resort online at mikasuki.com.
At Loan Depot, we're big on home. Home games, home teams, home field advantage, and you better believe it, home runs. For us, home means everything, which is why we're offering more options that make buying your first home easier and more affordable. No matter where you are on your home ownership journey, round the corner to loandepot.com and let us help get you home. That's loandepot.com. We're on deck ready to hit it out of the home ownership park for you. Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender. Licensed in all 50 states. NMLC ID number 174475.
This summer, Cuba Vera and the Miami Marlins are bringing game to your wardrobe. From breezy guayaberas to elevated linen suits, Cuba Vera has the effortless styles you need for any occasion. Shop today and use code CUHOMERUN at cubavera.com to receive 15% off your purchase. Limited 1 coupon per customer per transaction. Excludes taxes and shipping. Not redeemable for cash. Not valid with any other offers, promotions, or discounts. Not valid on gift card purchases. No adjustments on previous purchases. Offer only valid on qualifying purchases at the participating Cuba Vera stores at Dolphin Mall, Sawgrass Mills, or online at cubavera.com. This offer is valid until September 1st, 2025. Other exclusions may apply.
Celebrate the history of our national pastime at the National Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum in Cooperstown. See priceless treasures that'll bring your baseball memories to life. Connect with events that have shaped and changed the game and our country. Our stories to tell, your memories to share. Plan your visit today at baseballhall.org.
Thanks for listening to Miami Marlins Baseball. Marlins Baseball is brought to you by ADT, the official smart security partner of the Miami Marlins, and Norwegian Cruise Line. Experience more at sea. With the 10th Inning Show, here's the voice of the Marlins, Jack McMullen.
Well, the Marlins fall to the hosting Atlanta Braves in Game 1 of this doubleheader at Truist Park in the northern suburbs of Atlanta, Georgia. 7-1, the final score. It was a matchup of a couple of young right-handers. Ryan Gusto was making his Marlins debut. Gusto was the headlining player at this point. He threw 86 innings for the Astros this year, but he was the headlining piece in the return for Jesus Sanchez from the Astros at the deadline last week. Gusto got the ball against a former first-round pick in 2023 for Atlanta, Hurston Waldrop. And this really did turn out to be a pitcher's duel. We'll start on Atlanta's side because Hurston Waldrop was the starter in winner. 6 innings of 4-hit, 1-run ball. He walked 1 and punched out 6. Waldrop had the splitter dancing all afternoon long. That is one of the best secondary pitches in minor league baseball, and he showcased that today for the Braves. Ryan Gusto, though, our guy, he was good. Quality start for Gusto. 6 innings, 4 hits, 3 runs. He walked 2, but punched out 8. We heard all about the fastball at the top of the zone, and Gusto matched it with a cutter, with a curveball. But Ryan Gusto was really effective today, so good to see what Gusto could do in his start this afternoon. Again, it was a quality start for the Fish, but unfortunately, it was a 4-run 7th that really put the game away for Atlanta, highlighted by a 3-run shot from Michael Harris, the second into the Atlanta bullpen in right center field. That was how the game broke down. When we come back, we'll play the highlights here. 10th Inning Show continues next on the Marlins Radio Network.
Hey, it's the
33% of the way there.
That's Hall of Famer.
Hit 333. 1-0 pitch. That one looped into shallow left field. Profar coming on. He won't get there. That drops in for a base hit. Hicks going to come in and score. Otto pushes to third. And Jacob Marcy drives in his 4th run at the major league level. This guy's 8 for 17 to open his big league career. And an RBI knock gets the Fish on the board. They trail 2-1 at the top of the second. In the lead. 1-2. That one hit in the air, out to right center. That's deep. That's carrying well. Harris is back at the track. He leaps up. He opens the bullpen door, and that's off the wall. It caroms back into center. Wagaman pushes to third, and 2 runs come in to score. A 2-run triple for Wag Attack. Braves of yesteryear.
No.
3-2. That one hit well. Out to right and deep. Down the line. White on the move. He's looking up. And it's gone. Into the chop house. Graham Pauley. Back-to-back days with a homer. He's got 3 now as a Marlin. And this is a 5-run second. 2-run blast. 5-2 fish.
You needed some more production. And then you turned it into guys who are going to be now producing when you need them to.
1-0 pitch. Augustine lines into right field. That's in on a hop for a base hit. X rounding third. He's coming home. White's throw going to the plate. A little bit offline and just a touch late. And X comes in to score standing up from second. With 2 men gone, it's an RBI single for Augustine Ramirez. And the Marlins on the board again. It's 6-2 in the top of the 4th.
Trying to win it all again. Posada, slow roller right side. Beckett picks it up, tags Posada, and the Florida Marlins are world champions. The Marlins have stunned the Yankees, shocked New York, and this improbable team, improbable ride, they end up on top, winning in 6 games over the Yankees.
10th inning show rolling on here. The Marlins fall to the hosting Atlanta Braves. Game 1 of the doubleheader, 7-1. The final score. How did this thing sound? Well, there were some productive outs against Ryan Gusto in the bottom of the 2nd after Gusto and Hurston Waldrop matched each other with 1, 2, 3 first innings. It was a leadoff hit by pitch from the Atlanta cleanup man Sean Murphy to open the bottom of the 2nd. Then Michael Harris doubled to put runners at 2nd and 3rd with nobody out. Ozzie Albies with a productive out for run number 1. On the way. And that one a bouncing ball over to 2nd. X was playing back. He will pick that up. Toss to 1st. And the Marlins sacrifice the run. It's a productive RBI ground out from Ozzie Albies, 4-3. And the Braves open scoring. That's the first out of the bottom of the 2nd. They lead 1-0. And Harris pushes to 3rd. Hitter later, Eli White. Another productive out. 2 to White. That one ripped into left field. Myers on the move. He makes the grab on a hard line drive. Now he fires home, but the throw a little bit offline and plenty late. That was deep enough for Harris to tag and score. That one smoked off the bat of Eli White, and it took Myers back just deep enough in left field. It's a sacrifice fly, and it's 2-0 Atlanta in the bottom of the 2nd. Atlanta got 3 early runs against the Marlins starter Ryan Gusto, again making his Miami Marlins debut. But Drake Baldwin, he finalized those 3 runs against Gusto. 2-2. That one lined into center field. That is in for a base hit. On one hop, it gets to Marcy. His throw is coming home, and it's a little bit late to get the man trying to score from third base, Allen. Everybody had to hold just for a minute, thinking that may be caught by Marcy. It dropped in on one hop, and Drake Baldwin aboard with an RBI single. Top of the 4th inning, Augustine Ramirez hit a laser that seemed ticketed for the Marlins pen down the left field line, but Jurickson Profar made one of the plays of the year, non-hyperbolically. 1-2, smacked out to left and deep. Profar is back at the track. He leaps up, and he made an insane catch. Jurickson Profar, shades of Spider-Man. I mean, he just put his right armpit on the wall in that short wall in left field. He reached over the wall and took a homer away in the Marlins bullpen. As crazy a catch as you will see, this guy was doing parkour in left. Waldrop couldn't believe it. This ballpark couldn't believe it. And Jurickson Profar takes a solo homer away from Augustine Ramirez. There are 2 men gone in the 4th. Again, it was one of the plays of the year, it seems like, in Major League Baseball. Jurickson Profar went scaling the wall in left field to take a homer away from Augustine, and that might have been 5 feet beyond the wall, but Profar with an unbelievable catch. Marlins did get on the board in the top of the 6th. There was a leadoff double from Javier Sanoja, and then the birthday boy celebrating his 26th birthday, Xavier Edwards, played at him. 2-2. That one a bouncing ball through the vacated left side of the infield, a base hit. Sanoja around third. He's heading home. Profar's throw coming home up the first base line. It's cut off by Olsen, and that's an RBI single from the birthday boy. Marlins on the board, and on his 26th birthday, Xavier Edwards makes it 3-1 Atlanta in the top of the 6th. And after the RBI single from Baldwin that we just played you against Ryan Gusto in the third, he really settled in. 1-2-3 fourth, the scoreless fifth, and a 1-2-3 to tie a bow on a quality start. Hold that at the bottom of the zone. That one cut on and missed. That was a fastball center cut, but again, good carry on it, and Nacho swings underneath it. That's a punch out for Gusto, and make it a quality start for him in his first start as a Miami Marlins. 6 innings, a 3-run ball. We go to the 7th. It's 3-1 Atlanta. And that is how we went to the back third of this ball game. But in the bottom of the 7th, the Braves really put the pressure on and effectively put this game away. It was a 4-run 7th, and it was started by an RBI single from Drake Baldwin. Here's 2-2. Baldwin grounds one up the middle. That's past the outstretched glove of the shortstop, Sanoha, into center for a base hit. Marcy's throw is going to third. They're going to try and get Olsen on a short hop. It's not in time, and Baldwin, the trailman, follows and pushes to second base. Profar scores from second. Olsen goes first to third, and Baldwin has another RBI single. That's 7 RBIs for him on the weekend already, and that's insurance for Atlanta. It's 4-1 at the bottom of the 7th. I'm okay not seeing Drake Baldwin for a while, but unfortunately he's in the division and he's a rookie. Big blow in this one, that 3-run shot from Michael Harris in the bottom of the 7th to cap off their 4-run frame. 0-2. Harris drills one high in the air, right center field. Marcy is back at the track, at the wall, and it's gone. Into the Atlanta bullpen, Michael Harris is hot right now. That's a 3-run homer, and Atlanta blows game 1 open. The 3-run shot, it's 7-1 Braves in the bottom of the 7th. And after a punch out of Jacob Marcy, finished a scoreless 9th for Tyler Kinley. That was all she wrote in game 1 of this doubleheader. Kinley fires, and it's cut on and missed. That's the ball game. Atlanta takes game 1. They ride a strong start from their AAA call-up, Hurst and Waldrop, and a 4-run 7th. And they take the matinee 7-1 over the Miami Marlins here on Saturday afternoon at Truist Park. That's how this ball game sounded. When we come back, we'll let you hear from the skipper, Clayton McCullough. 10th inning show continues next on the Marlins Radio Network. Men gone, and the 3-1 pitch.
Augustine cranks out to left and deep. He didn't miss a stitch of it. Solo blast for Augustine, number 16 on the year. He got 98 over the heart of the plate and 112 on the way out.
All right, here's the 1-2. I got a question for you guys. That's ripped left center field and deep. Grisham going back. It's going. It's gone. Goodbye. Uncle Steve Ramirez has hit his second home run of the game in as many at-bats against his former organization, the Yankees. 2 solo shots. Have the Marlins up 2-0.
Why do these wins feel a little bit different against this team in front of this crowd?
I think it's just the atmosphere, for sure. Fans are making it feel like they're really special games, and I mean, we're playing good teams. These are the wins you need to get if you want to be one of those really good teams, and we feel like we are.
We saw 25 runs total yesterday between these two teams. You caught a shutout tonight. What separates Yuri from the rest?
I mean, I think he's just scratching the surface of what he could do. I think if you ask him, he didn't have his best stuff tonight, and that's just like a testament to how good his stuff is. I mean, he's going to compete like no other, and he's going to battle with what he's got, and I mean, he's got some crazy gifts.
What happened with the pitch comm? I saw you guys going back and forth.
Yeah, I don't know. He couldn't hear it. It wasn't working. It was only working every few pitches, so we had to figure that out. We were going to have to go old school if we couldn't figure it out.
How do you assess where this team is at right now?
I think we're just taking it day by day. I think everyone in that clubhouse knows how good we can be, and I don't think we're putting too much pressure on ourselves. I think we're literally taking it day by day, just preparing for that day and doing whatever we can.
Great win tonight, Hixie. Thanks for the time.
Thank you.
10th inning show continues after a 7-1 loss for the Miami Marlins to the Atlanta Braves, game 1 of this doubleheader. Let's hear from the skipper, Clayton McCullough, after this one.
Clayton, why do you think Ryan did in his Marlins debut today?
He did a phenomenal job, and really to have some early traffic, give up those couple, in the second, but to limit it to that, and to limit the damage there early on, and to be able to buckle down and get through 6 innings today, and leave with the game in a spot where it could have gone either way. I thought he, his cutter was very good today. Really his entire mix. I thought he showed a lot of resiliency and a lot of toughness there to just buckle down after some early adversity, and certainly get us into the point in the game where we could shorten it and also still have a chance to win.
What did you see in those situations where he was able to wiggle out of those innings?
I think he just got back. He made some pitches. It's to get the ground ball to third, and he got the out at home, and then he made some really good pitches on guys to get some shallow fly balls. And I thought he just very easy to let that unravel some, and he didn't. He just kept pounding it and making pitches. So all in all, that's a really good outing for us, and one we needed.
Offensively, what did you see from Waldrop?
He didn't really make any mistakes in the middle of the plate. I thought he did a really good job of getting strike one, and then was able to expand off of that. And we probably certainly chased some of the splits down and some of the other secondary down in the zone. But credit to him that he made it look like a strike long enough. Got us engaged in the at-bats with his frequency of getting strike one, and we just weren't able to get a whole lot of balls off the barrel. And he did a good job of, again, he just didn't make a whole lot of mistakes in the middle of the plate once the at-bat got into it.
What was your surprise level when Augustine's home run got robbed by Profar?
Good catch. Unfortunately, had deja vu from a previous experience watching him do that. And so it didn't feel any better today when I saw him do it.
In that top of the 7th, you have first and second with Dane up with no outs. Is that a situation where you'd like to see him bunt?
I think the option's always there for guys. I think, you've seen him a couple times, and you feel like you got a chance there to get something to, get into the outfield and potentially, have a productive out by swinging it while also taking the shot to for us to have a big inning right there. So no problem with what Dane did.
And how did you see Soriano get into some trouble today?
Yeah, you know what? He threw some good pitches. I think we've always, Sori's stuff is good, and it's, just made a mistake there to Harris that he was able to jump on, and just when we got some pitches in parts of the plate that gave them a chance to put some swings on, and they strung some hits together.
What have you seen from Drake Baldwin at the plate during this series? He's had a really good series.
Yeah, good hitter. He can handle velocity. He can use the entire field, and he's putting together a really fantastic rookie season, and so there's a lot of hitting ability there with how he moves it to all fields, and he can handle different locations and pitch types.
And obviously the turnarounds in baseball are always quick, but not as quick as this. Is that conversation the same with the guys, or is it look a little different in terms of watching this and going to the next?
You know what? There just won't be any conversation. They'll go in there, get something to eat, relax for a little while, knowing that we got a game starting in a few hours.
What can you comment on the historic nature of the game and what it was like? And then you guys almost challenged one of the calls, what happened on that? What did you guys see at first base? I think you thought about challenging and then didn't, or whatever, but just the history of today.
Yeah, big day for Jen. Again, congratulations. And for women, this is probably long overdue. So this was a big day for, certainly for her personally and professionally, for Major League Baseball. And great that we were able to be a part of that. And as far as the challenge, any play that I think is relatively close, it's worth it's worth just taking a look.
Thanks, Clayton.
All right, that was the skipper, Clayton McCullough. After this one, again, 7-1, the final score in Game 1 of this doubleheader. Game 2 will follow at 7:15. Fresh Marlins on deck at 6:30, leading up to that Sandy Alcantara-Eric Fetty matchup. Ryan Gusto made his Marlins debut today. Ryan Gusto made 24 appearances for the Houston Astros in the big leagues before being acquired as part of the Jesus Sanchez trade return. Gusto, a quality start in his Marlins debut. Let's hear from Ryan Gusto after this one.
This afternoon went quality start.
I was really happy with it. I think that I competed well, gave the team a chance to win, so I'm happy about it.
What was the game plan going up against this Braves lineup?
Execute pitches were important, use a lot of spin and just try to mix pitches all around the zone, keep them off balance for sure.
How did you work with Liam Hicks? First time, obviously, working with a new catcher.
Yeah, no, I thought that went really well. We had a lot of conversations before the game, about how I usually pitch, about my stuff, about, how he likes to go about calling a game. And I think that we were on the same page for, majority of the game. So I'm really happy about that relationship.
What was your emotions like making your Marlins debut?
I was really happy just to be out there and doing it for the Marlins. I think that it was really good to get my feet wet with the team. And like I said, give us a chance to win.
Clayton had mentioned he was impressed the way you were able to wiggle out of some of those innings. What was key in getting out of those?
Really just trying to control, my emotions, my breathing, focus on making the quality pitches when you do have guys on, and just trying to minimize there.
Ryan, you work pretty quick up there on the mound. Is that something that you try to take in terms of trying to stop the hitters?
Yeah, I think that's just my overall approach. It just keeps me locked in on the game. You don't want to be, for me, like too slow. I like to keep a good rhythm, a good routine up there, and just helps me attack.
Yeah, and obviously a whirlwind 24, 48 hours for you, but just what would you like to see for yourself in terms of settling in and kind of being able to settle down?
Yeah, no, I just like to see myself continue to attack the zone, keep eliminating walks, and just keep getting those strikeouts and putting up zeros.
I'm sure you'll be excited to head back to Florida and see your family.
Absolutely, yeah. That'll be a good time.
Did the stuff play the same in Houston? Do you feel any different? I mean, I know it's been, again, a short time, but working with this staff, what did you feel today?
Yeah, I do think that I made some good improvements on a couple of my pitches. The staff, like they told me they really wanted me. That's why they traded for me. So they had some ideas already about my pitches and what I could do to be better right out of the gate. And I think that we saw a little bit of that today. I think that, the adjustment on the sweeper was a little bit better. I think cutter usage was higher and it performed very well. And I think the changeup was really good and encouraging for the first day with really a new kind of attack plan on that pitch. So I'm really happy with the coaching staff and how they've, helped me and, continue to work on those things.
Thanks.
That was Ryan Gusto after his Marlins debut. And again, it was a quality start for him. He went 6 innings, a 3-run ball. I want all of Steven's thoughts in segment 4, but I do want to start with this. We've heard from this guy now twice on record, yesterday ahead of this one, and now after his first Marlins start. I'm really impressed by this guy. Like, it just seems like he thinks at a high level and he really fits what the Marlins are trying to do at this level, and this feels like a really good addition for the Astros organization.
It really does, man. The two things I always look for is the passion to be here, which he has, and the cerebralness that he has, and it seems like he has both of those things. He's excited to be a Miami Marlins. He's excited to work with the coaching staff, and he seems like a guy that is really in it. He really understands how to pitch. He wants to get better. He understands, what they want out of him, and I thought, man, today, like, you could take a lot from what we saw from Ryan Gusto today, man. One of the things, and I'll give you my takes in the final segment, but one of the things that was really impressive to me, man, he generated 15 swings and misses today.
Yeah.
Like, that's, his fastball, we knew he can play with it. He generated 7 whiffs on that fastball, but, the off-speed stuff is going to be, a work in progress, but I don't know if he ends up being, staying up here, Jack, but if he does go back to AAA, it'll be interesting to see what happens in September when they get the added roster spot, who they decide to go with. But I think this was an awesome first step in the right direction for Ryan Gusto and this organization.
Transactionally, he was the 27th man for the doubleheader, so in all likelihood, he's headed back to Jacksonville for a little bit. But you're right, like, we'll see what happens over the final 2 months of the season. All right, we'll step aside. We will tie up 10th Inning Show Part 1 when we come back on the Marlins Radio Network.
Good questions. But it's not as easy as the guy that worked for the New York Post.
First pitch to Troy Johnston, ripped into the right field corner. That is a fair ball. It short hops off the wall in the corner. They're going to hold Pauly at third, but Hernandez comes in to score from second. His first plate appearance in Miami.
He's good based on the skill set. Kyle Stowers was bad for a month this year after he was amazing for 2 months and amazing for 2 more. Stowers hits one high in the air down the left field line, playable for Dominguez in foul ground. He makes the catch, but Johnson will tag and score from third base. It was in fair territory. If it was in foul ground, Dominguez might have let it drop, but he did make the catch. It plates another
75 and 49 or
49 something crazy.
There's a shot deep right field. Going back is Bellinger. He looks up and it is gone. Kyle Stowers has done it again. This time a 3-run shot off the lefty. 6-1 Miami. Marcy looking for his first major league RBI. Rips one deep to center. Grisham going back, turns back, looking out, backhander, off the glove. It hits the wall. Marcy rounding second. He will get his first Major League RBI and his first Major League triple. 7-3 Miami. The rookie does it again.
Yeah, that's really cool. Obviously, just getting recognized for anything that you do in this game is always really special. I don't take it for granted. Honestly, just kind of more stoked about how we've been playing in all sincerity, and just hope we can keep that going. It feels good to just play winning baseball. What we've done the last couple months, I think, is just kind of take things one day at a time, kind of flush the previous day regardless of whether it was good or bad. And, what great teams do is they prepare to win every day. It's not always just about, winning, it's preparing to win. And that's what we've done a really good job of, and just kind of respond.
10th inning show is wrapping up. The Marlins fall 7-1 in Game 1 in Atlanta. We get set for Game 2 at 7:15 tonight. That'll be Eric Fetty for the Braves against Sandy Alcantara for your Fish. But tying a bow on Game 1. And then we move forward. Steven Strom, how you feeling?
Yeah, I'm feeling like this. We talked about before this series, who do we not let beat the Marlins? And we kind of went, okay, is it Matt Olson? Is it Marcell Ozuna? I got my answer for you. Drake Baldwin, 5 for 12 with 7 RBIs. I don't know what the plan of attack it's going to be over the next 2 games, but Sandy Alcantara today needs to be particularly careful. Who knows what the schedule looks like for Baldwin if he ends up DHing? I'm not sure. We didn't see Marcell Ozuna, or did we see Marcell Ozuna today?
Well, not in Game 1.
We did not. So he's probably going to play, obviously, Game 2 today. It'll be interesting to see where Drake Baldwin, ends up being. I assume he's going to play Jack. We'll see where he is. He's not going to catch back-to-back games, right? Where else can he play?
He DH'd, didn't he?
Did he DH
didn't
today?
Murphy catch today? Murphy caught, Baldwin DH, so I assume Baldwin's going to catch and Ozuna
There
will
you
DH.
go. We have to figure out a way to get Drake Baldwin out. Now, secondly, I don't know, man. Like, the Augustine Ramirez robbery, that felt like one of the parts of the game where I'm like, today night might just not be our day.
Yeah.
And then the second one, first and second, no outs. Dane Myers up, 7th inning. You're down 3-1. I thought that was a situation where the Marlins probably should have laid one down, moved the runner over, see what happens. Instead, you roll the dice, you roll into a double play. So I think those 2 plays kind of added up to me on, this just wasn't our day. And we kind of hit on Ryan Gusto in the final segment. Thought he was really good, man. Quality start. I don't know if he had his best stuff, but he still went 6 innings, 3 runs, put this team in a position to win. Excited to see what he has to offer, whether it's in AAA, whether it's at this level at some point this season. But those are the takeaways. Now you have Sandy coming out, and I'm excited. And we play baseball in 3 hours and 3 minutes.
You're on the air in 2 hours and 17 minutes. Do I have that right?
Yes.
2 hours and 17 minutes. All right, everybody chill for 2 hours and 17 minutes. I'm Ed Jordan. Go chill for 2 hours and 17 minutes. Thank you so much. For Steven, for Gabby, I'm Jack saying so long. Game 1 of this doubleheader, 7-1, the way of the Braves. This has been a presentation of Miami Marlins baseball on the Marlins Radio Network.